All right, people, all right. Welcome back to Just Bet TV. Of course, as you know, this is the show where we break down the biggest football moments and give you the insights to help you make smarter bets, as we always tell you. Of course, I'm Jordan.
And I'm Shav.
And of course, this week, we know that Shav can't really laugh this week because Arsenal took care of business. I told him last week, and I told you guys last week as well, that Arsenal would be back and Arsenal will be back to winning ways. I think Shav predicted a win as well, and we'll go and go back through the leaderboard in terms of the predictions and who is leading. You might have a smile on the face about that. But at the same time, I can breathe a little easier this week, and I am not the subject of all the jokes this time around.
No bantering this week.
But of course, we talk a lot more about the Premier League title race and Manchester City and Arsenal and all that good stuff. But this week, our focus, of course, will also be on the FA Cup, the semi-finals, which took place, as well as the Champions League, the semi-finals for the Champions League having kicked off. Now, last week's punters scored big shove. Tell us how much I won.
Oh, Jordan. 36.5 million, and this is just in the top 5 leagues. Overall, it's over 80 million, and that is the biggest payout thus far. Can you imagine that?
Boy, you see the people I'm really listening to now though.
Yeah.
They're really listening to us. They're cashing in, and that's good. So that's good to see that people are taking the advice of Shav and Chris and the punters.
And speaking of that, bro, I have 2 magical tickets to discuss.
Yeah?
I mean, honorable mention to these punters, Jordan. When I go through one of these tickets with you, and you're gonna guess how much money this punter went home with. So, the first one on it, it's a GG between Atletico Madrid and Athletic Bilbao. And they went on to say that Bayern Munich would win, Barcelona would win, Liverpool win, Tottenham would win, Olympic Lyon would win, Bayern Leverkusen, and they even went a step further and said a draw between AS Roma, a winner draw, and they went on AS Monaco to win and Arsenal. And they placed $5,000 on this ticket. How much I think they've done?
Well, those bets are good bets, and to get those wins. No correct score was on it though.
No correct
No
score.
correct score. Probably a good close to 100,000.
Let's try 635 grand, bro.
Lie.
Yeah, man.
From a $5,000 bet.
$5,000 bet. Whoever you are, big up yourself. We need you up on the show.
Yeah.
Come give us some advice.
No,
Yeah.
talk about a real winning bet. And as I tell you, I hope that person has gone to goalrush.justbetja.com and entered their ticket for a chance to win the football experience of a lifetime, watching the greatest show on earth in New York. So let's see if that person has done. We'll tell you more about this.
Yeah, them deserve it. But if you think that person deserve it, Jordan, I have one more here, This person select 20 teams and got all of them right and using $20 and go home with 103,000. Wow. Yeah, man. No, trust me. I don't know what kind of information him get about this, but we need them inside there too.
There are some dangerous people out there, man. These people are doing really well.
The
punters are cashing in. So, as we say, they can enter for the chance to win the ultimate football experience, of course. goalrush.justbetja.com. You just need a ticket of $2,500 or more, and it can be online, it can be in store, and you can enter for a chance to win that ultimate experience. So, let's see if that person who did the $5,000 ticket will enter the promotion as well. You should. And the FA Cup semi-finals we were talking about, it was this past weekend at Wembley, and it delivered exactly what it promised to deliver. And of course, I think we had already predicted it was going to be Manchester City versus Chelsea. Manchester City holding their end of the bargain. Chelsea booking their place with, I guess, nervy win, not too convincing win.
Definitely not.
Manchester City, they were relentless, of course, and they're showing that really and truly they want to capture another knockout domestic title, and they're in the race, obviously, to win a domestic treble. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
About a couple of weeks ago, who would have thought that Manchester City would have been on course to complete a domestic treble? But Pep Guardiola's side setting up a final date with Chelsea on May 16 in the FA Cup. Now, the thing about, let's say it's substitute Jeremy Doku, he came on and obviously he was a difference maker for City, and they came back to win 2-1. after going down 1-0 by the way.
That was scary.
And that's why we tell you that no game is really safe at this stage of the
scary when I
season.
saw that one.
Chelsea, they were pressured by a Leeds team that's been playing well.
Yeah.
They've been shocking teams. All right, I won't tell you that I beat Manchester United again at Old Trafford, but they've been playing very, very well.
True.
But Enzo Fernandez sent the Blues back to the FA Cup final for the first time since 2022. So this one is going to be a keen battle, of course, in that final. I think it has to be, it's obvious, you have to say that Manchester City are the overwhelming favourites. I don't know what the bookmakers are going to be saying yet as we get closer to that final.
Yeah, I guess we'll get that.
But of course, it will depend on what the results are leading up.
Mm-hmm.
City still have some tough matches in the league. And I think that is going to, be a determining factor.
Which one they prioritize?
I mean, but I think they're going to prioritize both because they want to win 3 trophies.
Yeah, they do have the squad depth for it though.
They have the depth of squad. And the thing about it is that they have a few rescheduled games now. And it's sandwiched, so the FA Cup final is sandwiched in between a couple of midweek rescheduled games.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's probably going to play a factor in it. Let's see how that turns out. But of course, we'll talk about the FA Cup final a lot more before we get there. Now over to the Premier League. And we know that it's heading into decisive stretch. 2 different battles taking center stage. Of course, a couple of teams relegated already so far.
Yes.
Tottenham Hotspur fighting for their life. We're going to talk about that as well to make sure they're not the 3rd team relegated. And of course, Arsenal, Manchester City battling for the title. And they have some teams battling for Europe. Even though I think that, the European spots are pretty much already determined. Yeah. Manchester United, Liverpool, Aston Villa. I don't see anybody catching our pass in any of those teams because it's Brighton next up, and I'm not really sure that they'll get into that top 5. So I think that's all but done. And we're going to be talking a lot more about Manchester United versus Liverpool, the derby of all derbies in England. But at the Emirates, it was Arsenal who edged Newcastle to go back to the top of the league at Molineux. Spurs had a late win over Wolves to keep their survival hopes alive. A first win in 2026. That's crazy to say. That's crazy to say. It's at the end of April. Both results, of course, could shape how the final weeks of the season play out. So we'll talk about Arsenal returning to the summit. Some people say it was a nervy win. I'd say Arsenal were more or less in full control for the entire game. Yes, it was a 1-0 game. That's never secure. But Eberechi Eze scoring a brilliant goal.
Brilliant. No, that was a very good goal, bro.
And it was a difference maker between both sides.
But boy, Jordan, I'm not lie. The one love, it did kind of get me worried. Because I say, I can't afford to show up for work, Yeah, man, I say, just hold it out, team. Just hold it out for the sake of my co-host.
Yeah, and to be fair to Arsenal, I think they never looked pressured. They never looked like Newcastle was ever really going to score. They control the game. And yes, you'd want it to be more comfortable than that. And I want to see my team scoring more goals because goals have been hard to come by. But at the end of the day, 3 points. I mean, I was furious with Victor Gyökeres at the end of the game where it was a 3-on-1 breakaway and he managed to pick out the only defender on the field. I don't know how you do that. But at the end of the day, a win is a win. So that was good for Arsenal. Tottenham boosting survival hopes, of course. Finally getting that first win, as we said, of 2026. Beating Wolves, who have already been relegated. So it was pretty easy for Spurs in terms of Wolves already know they're out. João Palhinha getting the win in the 82nd minute. Scrappy encounter, but again, it's a win.
A win is a win.
It's all about 3 points.
Right now, just the 3 points that matter.
Yeah.
But it did come at a cost, though.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. But
being injured.
Yeah. And that's never good to see when players are getting injured so close to the World Cup. And we talked about Ekitike for Liverpool. And I mean, the young French striker doing really wonderful things, and you wanted to see him on the game's biggest stage.
And now, his first World Cup, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
and now Xavi Simons going down again. Young player again, having a good season. And his side might get relegated. The World Cup was going to be a saving grace, could have been. So it's always unfortunate for that to happen. 2 points from safety. West Ham, they had a late victory. It's still tough for Spurs. They still need wins to ensure that they survive the drop. Champions League doing a shove. That's a real big
Yeah,
big
man.
conversation, because
Hot topic.
trust me,
Hot.
on Tuesday, we witnessed an instant classic.
We witnessed the final.
Yeah,
We witnessed the final.
9 goals in a Champions League semi-final first
First
leg
leg.
between PSG and Bayern Munich in Paris. What a fixture that was. I mean, Bayern started hot, scored the first goal. Harry Kane scored from the penalty spot, and then PSG came firing back and then equalized, and then they went up. And at one stage, with PSG leading 5-2, it looked like, walk
was
in the
it.
park. This looked like all over. The tie looked like it was going to be all over even before they headed back to Allianz Arena.
Yeah, tell them.
And then here comes Bayern.
Yeah, we were
Storming
so
back.
that one.
Like, I couldn't, every time I took my eyes off the TV,
Yeah,
I had
there's
to
a
look
goal.
back around because there was some goal mouth action leading to a goal. And I mean, we said it.
Yeah.
We said that
A
these two
lot of
teams
goals.
are high-powered
Hot.
teams, and you have to give it to them. You have to say that these two are the best in Europe. I mean,
Yeah.
PSG, they're the defending champions, and Bayern Munich is almost like an all-star team.
Yeah, the most informed team right now.
Yeah, and they've already won the Bundesliga, second in a row for Vincent Company, so they were riding high. But boy, oh boy, what a performance
What
that
a
was.
masterclass.
You wonder what it leaves for the second leg. Like, can anything even compare to
I
this?
don't think they can top that. But now I'm wondering, does Arsenal really want to go into the final and play one of these guys, bro? I don't think so.
Well, I mean, let's see. I mean, Bayern, coming back 5-4, it makes the tie interesting now. Going back to the Allianz, they only have a 1-goal deficit to try to overcome. So let's see. You think that they climb back from it, or you think PSG hold on?
I think they can. That home advantage, Jordan, it's nothing to play with. And playing in Germany is a different kettle of fish. I mean, it's going to be goals, but I think that Bayern just might edge them and come away with it. If not win the game, they probably force it to penalties.
So, Shah, we'll switch back focus to the Premier League. This weekend is a big weekend in England, right? We're talking about Arsenal versus Fulham. That's a London derby match. And of course, we know every match for Arsenal right now. It's a final,
Right.
chasing the title. And they don't get much bigger than Manchester United versus Liverpool.
Biggest match of the weekend.
Indeed. And no matter
Biggest.
where they are on the table, but at this point, they're fighting for third.
Right, that's correct.
It's all that both teams have to play for right now,
Only
right?
thing.
So both teams fighting for third, but it's just a big derby match between Manchester United and Liverpool anytime they step onto the pitch. Arsenal, of course, in their match against Fulham, Arsenal know that it's simple. Keep winning. Just keep winning to keep the odds in your favor as much as possible. And the bookmakers are giving Arsenal $1.41 to win this one. So Arsenal big favorites. The draw is at $4.33, and Fulham to win, they are at $7.
$7,
right?
That's a pretty penny.
Yeah. So I mean, big favorites, big favorites. Fulham not expected to win. I don't know which one of the punters Shav is gonna want to take the punt. Take the punt and put the money on Fulham to for that $7 odds and try to win a pretty penny.
Right.
But I mean, for the Gunners, you feel like handling pressure. They've shown that. The 1-0 over Newcastle, of course. And then, obviously a lot depends on what happens in Europe and thing in terms of the emotional roller coaster that they'll be on. But they've shown that they've been able to get past the Newcastle test. And so now this test against Fulham again, you'd expect that the confidence is there and that they try to come out firing against Fulham.
I agree. I think it's not gonna be a walk in the park, but I do believe that your team will get it done. I don't think that Fulham will stop them. The Newcastle match really showed me that you guys have the grit. So, I mean, I don't see you guys even drawing this. I don't even see Fulham scoring.
Well, I hope you're right. Definitely hope you're right. Of course, as we talked about Manchester United versus Liverpool, the match of all matches, the derby of all derbies in England. And, I mean, you look at it, Manchester United riding high. Michael Carrick feeling good about his team, trying to secure the long-term job
That's
for
it.
Manchester United, amidst, of course, a lot of chatter on the outside. Bruno Fernandes, 1 assist away now from equaling the Premier League record, which nobody has been able to break since Thierry Henry set it. So, I mean, that emotional, high that they're on, you expect that to continue for Manchester United. I mean, Casemiro has been finding form. Ever since he announced that he's going to leave United at the end of the season, all of a sudden he's playing his best football.
Man, I give a performance for remember him by man.
Yeah.
Big up
For
the
sure.
Brazilian.
For sure. And I mean, Benjamin Sesko feeling good about life again. Everything is going pretty well for Manchester
Yeah,
United
he looks
right
good.
now.
He looks good.
Liverpool has found some amount of form, and I think that Liverpool, the confidence, and you mentioned the fact that with both teams now only playing for third, their focus now is just narrowed in on
Tunnel vision, right?
And I mean, form definitely goes out the window a lot of times when giants like these collide, but you do still expect to see some quality football being played. And you know, the United, they're slight favourites in this one by the bookmakers, $2.28, and then the draw is $3.50. And the Liverpool win is not too far away from the United, that's $2.80.
Yeah, so you can see that the bookmakers see that they're fairly equal because this one can go anyway, Jordan. With the history between these two teams, you can anticipate it's going to be a little bit cagey, but you can expect some goals and some very, very key moments.
Yeah.
So it's who shows up on the day.
Yeah, I mean, for this one, this is one of the ones that you want to bet cards. Because derby matches are always fired,
hot.
right? And you might want to go, I don't know, over 6.5 in terms of yellow cards. You probably might want to put a red card on somebody you know, because derby matches are hot.
Yeah.
And somebody's gonna, you know, probably lose their temper, them composure, lose them cool and get sent off in this game,
I can definitely see that.
or a lot of yellow cards. So this is probably one where you'll probably take that chance and go with cards. Of course, we're saying that the top four, I think, is basically capped off. Is really playing for third, and I guess you're slightly looking over your shoulder to, you know, Aston Villa to get any ideas and make any moves. so for both teams, Europe certainly for next season, Champions League certainly for next season, but also wanting to finish behind Arsenal and Manchester City in that third spot. Yeah, switching focus back now to Champions League, and of course, as we mentioned, when Champions League reaches semi-final stage, doesn't matter who's playing, we know we're going to see a test of nerves, we're going to see skill, we're going to see composure from some teams, not so much from others, but we're going to see some tense moments, and we're going to see some exciting football. That is what we saw between Bayern Munich and PSG in their first leg semi-final.
I don't think
5-4 to PSG, 9 goals in that, and still have one leg left. But Arsenal will take on Atletico Madrid. And you know, funny enough, I had to laugh at some of the memes online, right? Because when that PSG versus Bayern match was going on, people were saying that Arteta and Simeone are watching this match right now, shaking their head and saying, this is not football.
Yeah,
Gentlemen, this is not what we want to see from you. Right? But on Wednesday, Arsenal and Atletico will go head to head. And I think it's safe to say that they will go hammer and tongues like Bayern versus PSG.
No, definitely not.
But I think if you're a neutral, that you will, and if you like tactics and you like structure and rigidity, that's what these two managers do. Mikel Arteta and Diego Simeone.
Yeah, but after what we saw with the Bayern PSG game, I think this one's gonna put us to sleep.
I mean,
I hope not.
If it puts us to sleep and Arsenal win 1-0, I'll be a happy person, right? Of course, Atletico Madrid under Simeone, they've narrowed their focus almost entirely now to Europe because they lost out in the Copa del Rey and they're out of the La Liga title picture.
Right.
So that puts a different spin on it, of course, with Arsenal still having the Premier League title in the back of their heads.
Right.
Atletico don't have to worry about that.
This is everything for them. This is the only thing that they are playing for.
Right. So factor that in. They're now playing better. As we told you, Arsenal with a gritty 1-0 Premier League win over Newcastle, pushing them back to the top of the English Premier League table. So yes, you get confidence from that. Yeah. But the question is, how much do you kind of play with the Premier League in the back of your mind and the pressure that's weighing on your shoulders and so on and so forth. So we'll see how that one turns out in terms of that. But we talked about, in comparison to Bayern versus PSG, and we must say that those two teams are high-powered attacking. PSG, I think, has the best midfield in the world.
Currently,
Fabian Ruiz came back, by the way, and he came off the bench. Didn't start the game. Zaire Emery started. But with Vitinha in the middle of the park, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't matter who. You could put me beside him. I look like a genius because that man is just, he's brilliant. And then the attacking firepower of both teams, and you saw, the pace of a Desiree Doué and and Dembele, and of course, you look at the other side of the coin, and then Harry Kane was pulling the strings as usual again
As
with
a
Luis
maestro.
Diaz and Michael Olise. So that is not what is existing in these two teams,
No.
with Atletico versus Arsenal.
It's more gritty.
It's more gritty, but having said that, I think both teams can threaten each other, especially in transition.
I agree.
We talk about somebody like a maestro, like a Antoine Griezmann, who has so much quality and so much experience at this stage, and then the pace of a Julian Alvarez in front,
Yes.
who can really cause trouble
A
for
problem.
defenses.
An honorable mention. Is Lookman out for this one?
I don't think so. I
Well-
think Lookman is playing for this one.
Yeah, and you have to mention him. He's
Yeah.
on form.
Yeah, he is. And again, if you commit too many bodies forward, the threat of their pace going the other way is deadly.
Yeah, we saw that against Barcelona, so we cannot rule it out.
Exactly, because I think everybody thought, oh, they're just going to come and sit back and lock the shop against Barcelona, but they didn't.
No, we were
Barcelona
wrong
play a
on that
high line, and Atletico really took advantage of when Barcelona tried to attack. I don't think that Arsenal is going to try to attack Atletico. Definitely not from the get-go.
No.
I think it would have to be a situation where Arsenal find themselves down and then now trying to get a goal back. And then that's when it could leave openings for Atletico to exploit. But you talked about the pace and the skill that Atletico have.
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal, of course, with Saka coming back, will feel good about life.
True.
That threat on that side. And then it's going to be either, Trossard or Martinelli on the other side. And, I mean, Havertz picked up an injury. You expect Gyökeres to be the main man in the middle in terms of up front for Arsenal. So let's see how that works. I think it's a question of, does Eberici Eze, come to the party? Do you start Eze and Odegaard, a nice attacking
Right.
front five, and then that way you can really put pressure on Atletico's defense, because you know the kind of structure that Simeone plays with.
Yeah, based on the weekend's performance, you have to start him. Yeah, I mean, not only did he score, he was practically the man of the match.
Yeah. Eze was.
Yeah, so he was good.
The only problem is the injury concern. You wonder whether the knock has worn off to the point where he can start the game, or maybe if he starts, he won't be able to play the full 90 minutes.
I agree.
So let's see how that goes. The market underlines just how tight this semi-final is predicted to be. Atletico priced at $2.85 to win, reflecting confidence in their European pedigree at the Wanda Metropolitano, while the draw is $3.14. And Arsenal, they are slight favorites at $2.42. I think
good
that's a
odds.
little bit surprising. Arsenal playing away are slight favorites over Atletico, but hey,
Yeah.
I don't make the odds.
I mean, remember, Arsenal is the only unbeaten team still in Europe. So I think that plays a big
So,
role there.
Can you say that again?
I won't say it again, but yeah,
I don't think
people.
most people actually remember that.
Yeah, it's
Right?
true. It's
It's-
true.
it-
It's facts.
Just a couple of games that Arsenal actually failed to win.
Right.
A 1-1 against Leverkusen and 0-0 against Sporting. So every other game Arsenal has won. So only unbeaten team remaining. Of course, we know that, history, even recent history, goes out the window when you get this deep in the Champions League. So let's see what happens between Arsenal and Atletico Madrid in this encounter. Of course, you know where my heart is. And I hope that my heart will follow my head this time. Arsenal, by the way, as most people forget as well, thrashed Atletico 4-0 in the group stage of the competition. Most people don't remember that.
Yeah.
Arsenal beat Atletico. Arsenal beat Bayern Munich.
That's true.
Earlier in this competition. Most people don't remember that. Atletico, of course, they eliminated Barca, as we spoke about, and Tottenham by managing first leg chaos and, of course, second leg survival. Injuries, we talk about the factor of injuries. Key attackers appear to be available in time for kickoff, so fingers crossed from my side.
Fingers crossed for Atletico. We need a little trolling, man. Come on, guys.
No, we can't
do the
afford
right
that.
thing.
We can't afford that. Wednesday, do the right thing, Arsenal. Do the right thing Wednesday. All right, but you know who are going to do the right thing, though? Chris.
The genius.
The genius. Yeah, man.
The genius himself.
Make people win enough money, man, and thing. Chris, and I know you and Chris, have the bet builder thing down pat right now.
Yes, man.
So we know you're going to share some key insights with Chris. So looking forward to see that.
Alright, Chris, welcome back. The favorite time of the day.
Yeah, man.
Money time.
Only time,
Yes, man. So
what's up?
But there, I get my praises them in the street because of you. You know, beer money in the people them
Not me.
pockets.
You are the man who come with the big ads, brother.
Yeah, you know it go already. You know it go. You know, we have to give kudos to the fans them last week. Them take the advice and them run with it.
Shall I tell you something? I've always said that just bet. Oh, Gold Rush just bet.
Mm-hmm.
We are the #1 betting platform in Jamaica and by extension the Caribbean.
Agree.
But what you and I know, but we never really say it, that we have the smartest set of gamers.
Mm-hmm.
You know why? Last week we paid out over 85 million. But that's not it. What we spoke about in the bet builders, our smart gamers tweak it to their likings and it's a bag of money.
That we like here.
Yeah, man. All right, let me give you an example. So, we had Brighton to beat Chelsea and to have 4 cards. Most of the man, when we check the stats, what the guys did, throw away the cards and say, you know what, Brighton will win 3-0. Or they just will win.
Straight win.
Yeah. And they did.
Smart.
Most of the betting went on that. But Arsenal, a little nervy Arsenal.
Yeah.
Most persons, we had them as winning, first half, win the match and score 2 goals.
Yeah.
Person say, you know what, it's all kind of nervous now, they want to play conservative, so we just take the first half win and the game. Again,
And then bingo.
then bingo.
Tell you.
Come on, people love it and we are happy.
No, we're always happy when the money pay out big, Chris, because that's what we're here for.
We let people
And-
win.
Yes, man. And speaking of that, I know you have something nice for this week, so.
You know, Trav, this week I thought about it. The game has one big, so I say, you know what, give them something simple. Since they tweak them bets,
Yeah.
give them something simple.
All right.
So listen, Arsenal Atletico. That game I given a combo.
Mm-hmm.
Combo is 2.
Yeah.
So it's Arsenal to win and both teams to score.
And but that's simple though.
It's simple, you know why?
Yeah.
Arsenal playing away, Atletico at home. Atletico might come out conservative, defensive,
Mm-hmm.
and Arsenal might just sneak a 1 goal.
Okay.
So for Arsenal to win and both teams to score, 5,000.
How much that give me?
5,000 off?
Yeah.
They get 25 grand.
Ah.
$5 is simple. I know you don't like them look at us, Jane, but
No, work with that one day.
let me tell you what you need to work with it. 25,000, 25,000, 50 grand. So,
I can't disagree with you with that one.
come on.
Alright, so I like that one there, you know, that one there simple and precise. So I go bookmark that one there. Punters do the same thing. So go ahead now, Chris. Use something.
Alright, so still sticking with bet builder.
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal Atletico, 2 defensive team. I heard, well, Jan Jordan spoke about it earlier. Arsenal unbeaten, only unbeaten team in Champions League. So I think the first half, based on the fact that Atletico, they are very defensive. So I see the first half being KJ. I think it will draw the first half.
Right.
And first half draw, I think Arsenal will come out not to lose. So I'm seeing them as win or draw the first half.
Win or draw the first half. Okay.
And I'm also not seeing Arsenal scoring. This is Arsenal, not the whole game. Arsenal not scoring over 3 goals. I see them scoring at least 1 or 2.
But not
So
over.
not over 3. So that's 3 options.
Alright.
And that's $3.10. It's $15,500. If you spend equal $5,000.
They're more than double your money.
Well, guess what? The key, I've always said, the key is not to lose.
Right.
The key is to win and have brought.
I agree.
And you must agree with that. As a Man U man,
Yeah,
I
have
agree
to.
with
Have to. But you know, my specialty now, Chris. You know, anytime.
I love the big odds them. So.
No, because the big money, may I
Trav,
defend,
you
bro.
realize we paid 85 million on small odds last week.
Yeah, but I want to pay out 100 million for big odds
Alright,
this
you know,
week.
I thought about it.
Yeah, man. I know you have something.
And you say Man U, alright, you're a Man U.
Yes.
Oh, by
And-
the way, I'm a Red. Liverpool.
Yeah, so,
So-
weekend me and Chris are not friend until a match they done.
But
Here,
no-
people.
I'm going to call him in. But honestly, Trav, I think my side is like a Heckler and Jekyll now. This week we play good. Next week, oh God.
All right.
Man U is consistent. They've
True.
been consistent since Carrick has been here. So I will I've sat down, I thought about it, and I think I came up with an easy $12 odds for it.
Oh gosh, man. Bet Billa.
Bet bill.
Oh yes, man. That more here, bro.
Alright, so Liverpool, we got back our leading striker by value, not by goal, Isak.
Right.
Not actually score. But these two, this is actually the biggest match in England. Forget about Man City. Liverpool, Man U.
Yeah, this rivalry.
This rivalry, this is derby. People don't talk to them wife, people don't talk to them husband because
Don't talk to them co-hosts either.
don't talk to them co-hosts either. No, I'm probably talk to you. You see, Man U fans are a little bit more bad-minded than Liverpool. So we're cool. Anyway, I see the first half being a cage once. I see that as a draw.
Okay, so draw first half.
Yeah, man. Man U playing at home, they're in better form than Liverpool. So I think they will win the first half.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think the game will have less than 3 goals. Why? Man U will score, Liverpool will come back
Right.
and score. So as I said, I see the first half being a draw. See Man U winning 1.5, and I see the game having under 3.5 goals. But for Man U to win the first half, I don't see your side
Yeah.
beating my up and down side.
Right.
So I see both sides scoring.
Scoring,
So that's
right.
a GG people for both teams to score. So that's 4
Right.
options, and
4
that's
options.
$12.
$12.
So you see the big money,
$5 for that.
5 grand.
60 grand, you know.
Right.
Oh gosh.
and you will miss that.
No, sir.
So
no.
guess what?
That's my favorite ticket that now, you know.
I know that.
That's my favorite
I
ticket
know
that
that, but
now.
guess what? I know our smart customers, our gamers, you know what they'll do? They're going to tweak it.
So they're like,
Yeah, man, especially the Man U man. And mind you, don't take off the GG as a Man U man are speaking to you guys out there. If you take it off, the odds will drop from $12 to $8, and then you're going to say, if me did know.
right.
So,
So-
stick to it.
Just trust Chris. Chris never steer wrong yet. Him have a 100% record still, people. So we not have to work with him. But Chris, man, not lie. Them 3 prediction here, I love it. I know the punters out there is gonna love
I mean,
it
they
too.
love it.
So we know we'll come back next week. The praises are go more, and the
I-
payouts are go more too.
We really don't do it for the praise, you know.
Yeah.
We do it for people to be happy at the end of the day, especially the guys. They go home to them family, carry home some KFC, them carry home some Burger King, and say, wait, you know, say it's just the this, you know.
That's right. That's right. Love that. Love that. All right, Chris. Thanks again, bro.
Yes,
You know we are gonna link up next week. I might have a little thing for you to offer the
But
winnings.
it buy me a drink.
All right.
Well, not a strong drink.
Right. That's true. All right. We'll checking back with Jordan and we'll see how we stay now.
Arsenal, man. Yeah, man.
Cool.
Give him some love time, you know, over the weekend, you know.
Well, I might need a new co-host, you know, depending on how that much they go.
Oh, you see, Jordan is a guy where he like to talk. He use him emotion. So when him feel him going to lose, he'll say, boy, I might get a new host, you know. But, come on, he'll be
He'll be here.
Go back.
All right.
He love the show and the people that love him. So,
All right, Chris. Once again, big
Yeah.
up. You're the genius. So they are for it.
respect, man.
You know, so the segment there with Chris is always very interesting, you know. And the proof is always next week when I come back now, looking back at what the people do and how them capitalize on the bet bill of them and all them things.
The payout.
Yeah. And we
Tell 'em.
the predictions will pay out or will pay off according to
Right.
the payout, right?
That's correct.
And speaking of predictions, we're going into the Just Bet challenge. But I have to take out my phone because we're keeping score, as we
keep
tell you,
score.
as of last week,
Yes.
of who is winning the prediction challenge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shav, you were leading from last week. And spoiler alert, you have kept the lead based on the results that happened over the weekend. Let's bring them back because it was Burnley versus City. You said that City was going to absolutely rip apart Burnley 4-0. Ended up 1-0, of course, for City. I said it was going to be 1-1, hoping that City would drop points. Talking with my heart more than my head. Of course, City won, so you win that one. Wolves versus Spurs. I think you said it was going to be a draw. That
Yeah.
Spurs still wasn't going to get the win. I said that Spurs would get the win. So I got a point there. You didn't get any. Arsenal versus Newcastle. You had Arsenal winning that one by 2-1. Of course, the game ended 1-0 in favor of Arsenal. I had Arsenal win 3-1. So both of us get a point there because we got the right winner, but not the right score. City versus Southampton. That's the FA Cup now, semi-finals. You had City winning that 3-1. City won it 2-1.
Who won?
I had City winning that 3-0. So both of us get a point for City winning. None of us had the correct score. Chelsea versus Leeds, the other semi-final in the FA Cup. You said Chelsea would win 2-1. I said that Leeds would win 2-1.
Yeah, you went for the
Of
upset.
course, yeah. Of course, Chelsea won the game 1-0. So you won the point there. So Shav, you are leading, what's it now, 8-6?
8-6.
8-6 is the lead for Shav in terms of the prediction. All right, so from my side, I've made 3 right calls, and you made more than I did. So let's see how it plays out when we go into the Just Bet Challenge for this week. So we're talking about Arsenal versus Fulham, right? London Derby, as I said, Arsenal obviously chasing the title. Arsenal seeing if they can win both the league and the Champions League. Pressure is on for the Gunners. Heart and head. I'm going to say head more than heart. Arsenal will win this one, people. Arsenal will beat Fulham by 2-0.
Oh, my turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Arsenal wins this one 2-1.
Right? Manchester United versus Liverpool, the derby of all derbies, the clash of all clashes, the biggest match in England, right? Both teams battling for third. Manchester United riding high, Liverpool finding their footing somewhat, but still I think in a stage where they're not 100% firing on all cylinders. I think United a little bit more confident. Manchester United will take this one over Liverpool and they will win by 3-2.
Bold prediction. I'm going to say 2-1.
In favor of Manchester
In
United.
favor of Manchester. Of course. You can't question that, Jordan.
And then in the Champions League, Atletico Madrid versus Arsenal at the Metropolitano. So Atletico hosting this one. Arsenal, the only unbeaten team remaining in the Champions League, have failed to win only twice in the competition, have won all their other games. I'm going to say that this one ends 1-1.
I'm going to say that Atletico wins this one 1-0.
Interesting. Diego Simeone versus Mikel Arteta. Arsenal versus Atletico in the first leg. Let's see how that one turns out. I think Arsenal will draw, and then Arsenal will take care of business in the second leg when it goes back to the Emirates. So the road to the greatest show on earth is here, people, and JustBet is giving you the experience of a lifetime. All you have to do is spend $5,000 or more on any ticket in store or online for a chance to win a fully paid trip to New York for a football experience of a lifetime.
Yeah, Jordan,
Watch the greatest show on earth.
I think it's 2,500, but 2,500 or more.
Yeah.
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 Definitely.
And guess what? You still have a complete entry form.
Right.
But you have to go to goalrush.justbetja.com and you have to fill out the entry form once you spend $2,500 or more on a ticket. And guess what? If you like football, if you have any little inkling of a love or a passion for the game of football, the beautiful game,
Yeah.
you'll want to be in New York, the Big Apple,
Oh,
this summer. Because guess what?
Only place to be.
You'll want to witness the greatest show on earth. All expense paid, money in your pocket, VIP experience, people. You cannot beat that. Cannot.
Christmas come early.
Christmas in the summer. All right, people. Well, that's where the end comes for us on Just Bet TV for this week. The top spot for sports betting insights, match previews, and of course, fan-fueled debates. If you have a hot take or a winning bet, read out some big winning bets earlier, you can drop it in the comments, and we might feature you in the show next week. Until next week, Shav, big up yourself.
Yeah.
All the best for Manchester United.
All the best to Arsenal.
Secret is not mine and still. See you next week, people. This has been Just Bet TV. Your game, your passion.